Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel once again, and today's video is a brand new episode of this new journey which we are going to start within this YouTube journey. So what is it all about? Well, I think many of you guys out there are seeking for that financial freedom, or let's say every one of you out there is looking to achieve that financial freedom. So I thought that since I am just a step away from achieving that financial freedom level 1, I thought why not to share my journey, what I did, what mistakes I did so that you don't repeat the same, and what I'm still doing, and what I'm going to do in future to maintain that financial freedom level 1 income. So with that being said, when we talk about financial freedom, one term should come to our minds, which is passive income. So just to explain it in a layman's language, what passive income actually means is that when you worked on something, it can be anything, on a project, and you invested your money or time, so it doesn't have to be necessarily money, it can be time as well, for example YouTube, then you worked on it, and now it is generating income for you. So month over month, year over year, so you are not actively working on that anymore, it is generating money for you, and that's what passive income is. So we will still be talking about stocks in this series, but we'll be talking about only those stocks which will help you guys to get that extra source of income through dividends. So when I talk about financial freedom, I'm dividing financial freedom into two stages. Financial freedom level 1, which I just mentioned, what I'm going to achieve soon. And what it means is that when you have a source of passive income through which you can pay off your daily life expenses like your rent, your fuel for your commuting, electricity, just normal bills, food, so just to live normally, a normal life. And that's what is financial freedom level 1. So this series will be all about financial freedom level 1 because this itself is a really long process, guys, and this is what I want to clarify, that achieving financial freedom is not an overnight process. It takes time, it takes efforts, and you have to be patient. That's why we'll be talking about financial freedom level 1 only in this series, and then we have financial freedom level 2, which simply means that apart from your daily life expenses, you have extra income from your passive income to live lavishly. That means you can pay for your traveling, your adventures, buying expensive things, buying whatever you want, buying expensive houses. And guys, since we took an example of buying expensive houses, I just want to clarify one thing, and this is, guys, just my opinion, okay? This topic is debatable, so I won't go much deeper into that. But since I'm trying to help you guys, so I just want to explain my opinion on this. So an expensive house, and I will take Germany as a reference. So if your salary is somewhere between 45k annual to 80k, now guys, 60 to 80k annual salary is above average salary. It's considered to be a really good salary in Germany. From 45k annual to 80k annual, if your salary is between this range, still buying a house, your first house, between $500,000 to $1 million is considered expensive. So I know there are many other scenarios, many people can debate on this, that I have a family, I want a bigger house, and many other things. So that's why I said this topic is debatable, and I won't go deeper into that. So I just wanted to explain my opinion on this, and that's why buying a first house between $500,000 to $1 million is not a good idea according to me. Okay, you can buy it if you fulfill these two conditions. The first one is that you have a source of passive income which is paying off your debt for this expensive house, and second, if you're a billionaire. So if you're a billionaire, $500,000, $1 million, doesn't matter, you can buy as many houses as you want. So this is what I wanted to clarify, and this is just my opinion, okay? So guys, just to summarize this, or to explain it in a shorter way, is that if your biggest investment is the house where you're living, then it is not a good investment. Probably it is a liability. So that's what I wanted to say. So now coming on to the title of the video, which says how I bought my first house. And after this long speech, if you guys are thinking that how the house where I'm living is a source of passive income, what it has to do with passive income. And if you guys are thinking like that, then I've got you on the same page and the right mindset to understand what I'm going to show you. So let me show you some numbers. So you want to see the numbers? But before that, I have a request. Well, please hit that like button, and if you guys are new here, then please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button as well. Hit that juicy red subscribe button, and with that notification bell icon also, so that you will get all the updates which I'm going to bring for you guys. And trust me, guys, this will definitely help you to achieve that financial freedom level 1.
So guys, just to explain you how my first house is generating passive income for me. So the house has 3 apartments. In one of them, of course, I'm living and the other 2 are rented. And yes, that's the key and the answer to your question, that how this house is one step forward for me into generating that passive income. So the total cold rent, as you can see, I get from the 2 apartments is around 900 euros. The cost as the owner of the house which I have to pay is around 300 euros. Now, which I give directly to a Hausverwaltung or house manager, you can call him in English, because he was already here and I did not mind this because I had 10,000 euros in the Hausverwaltung treasure. And guys, this is a really important point to consider when you are going to buy a house or a property. And if the property had a Hausverwaltung, and then you should know or ask that how much money is in this treasure. So a Hausverwaltung treasure is basically the money which the previous owner has put into for maintenance of the house. So anyways, so this is what I did not cancel. So usually you don't need Hausverwaltung when you owe a single property. It's usually when you cannot manage things and the manager is taking care of everything. So he's taking care of the utility cost, house insurance, and everything else. So in total, I save or give 300 euros to the Hausverwaltung, which also actually includes the renovation cost. Now, the biggest benefit of this house is that since I have a detached house of my own, it's not an apartment in a multi-story building, and thus I don't have to pay the house geld. So what is this house geld, or let's say in English, house fee, maintenance fee? So if you live in a shared building, you must pay a fee to either the housing association or property management services, because this usually applies to big buildings which has 3 to 4 or multi-story buildings. But if you have a detached house like in my case, then this cost doesn't apply. So what are these costs actually? So these costs cover shared services such as garbage removal, snow removal, street cleaning, gardening, water, and many other maintenance of the shared areas of the building, such as stairs as well. So everything needs to be cleaned or stuff has to be removed. So the apartment owners have to pay these fees to the management or to the housing association. And especially guys, when you buy an apartment in a multi-story building where there is a lift, then this cost can really spike up. So please keep this in mind as well. So I hope that's all clear. So now coming back onto the numbers. So the monthly fee which I have to pay back to the bank on my credit is around 1050 euros. And that means that ultimately at the end of the month, I'm just paying 450 euros from my pocket. So 1050 euros plus the 300 euros to the Hausverwaltung or to the house management, minus the total rent which I'm getting from the 2 apartments, which is 450 euros. So at the end of the day, the return on my investment now at this moment is 5%. But guys, if I calculate the actual return on this investment, because since I'm living in this house and I'm not actually paying any rent, okay, I have to pay 450 euros to the bank, so let's consider this as my rent. But guys, still this rent, considering that the house is in the middle of the city, in the main city, and a 50 square meter apartment, this rent is approximately 40% less than the actual rent in the main city, and the apartment is fully furnished. So I still save up 40% on the actual rent, and eventually I'm paying this for owning a house. So if I calculate the actual return on my investment, it would be around 7.6%, guys. And this return actually, year over year, this will actually increase. This is not like stock market where you don't have any idea how the stock might perform, but this will only increase because the rents will increase for the properties. And in Germany, to be honest, every 2 years you can increase the rent by 10% or 10 to 15% legally. So this is what I wanted to show you, that if somebody tells you that there are no big opportunities in real estate in Germany, you cannot get a return of more than 3 to 4%, that's not actually true. So I have spent a lot of time in searching for this house. To be honest, I spent around 1.5 years to get this deal. So it takes time, guys, but eventually you will find a deal which is worth to spend on. So that's all with the numbers which I wanted to show you. So now let's move on.
And by the way, guys, since we are talking about real estate, I just want to refer you guys to a good friend of mine who is also a YouTuber and making really good content on real estate. And there you can find all the technicalities, all the documents, what you generally need to, if you're planning to invest in real estate, how the taxes are calculated, and everything like that. So I will put his link in the description, and please have a look at his channel as well.
So just to show you guys some before or after pictures. So these were just some inside interior touches given to the house because the house is quite old, and that's why, to hide that old looking structure or old looking interior from the house, I put in some money to make it at least a bit decent and attractive for everyone.
So guys, this is the room which you saw, which was heavily renovated. Actually, the whole building from the inside was renovated, and it costed me around 12k to 15k. But just to clarify this, that guys, these were not the needed renovations. These were renovations and not repair. So you have to keep this in mind when you're going to buy a property. It should not need any repairs. Yeah, repairs like heating system, to replace the heater, to replace the water pipes or something like that. This is a disaster. I didn't need to do anything like that. These were just, let's say, interior touch, and I had some money left, so I just wanted to make the home cozy and to make it much more attractive for the renters.
Now coming on to one of the main topics, that how I actually saved money and how can you save money at the time of buying a house for the down payment. So I started with 800 euros per month just after 1 month or 2 months when I started my job. So I started saving 800 euros to put it in a recurring deposit account in India. For 2 years I did this with an interest rate of 6.5%. Now at maturity, that means when my contract ended, I had 22,000 euros approximately with an interest of 1500 euros. And after a year from the day I started my job, I got a salary raise, and then I opened another recurring deposit account with putting 500 euros extra. So after a year, I was actually saving 1300 euros and putting it in a recurring deposit account in India. So this second account was with an interest rate of 6%, and after maturity, or when my contract ended, because I kept this only for 1 year as my aim was to buy a house after 2 years for sure, and I received 6,600 euros with an interest of 210 euros. So I had approximately 30,000 euros in 2 years to pay off for the down payment for this house. And like I said, guys, I'm not a big fan of making a first investment of €500,000, so I kept my risk levels low, and I was searching for such an investment where I can get a good return on my investment, and I found this house finally. It is old house, and that's why it was a bit cheaper when we compare the rates per square meter. For Aschaffenburg in the main city, it's around 3,000 euros per square meter, but this was less than 2,000 euros per square meter. So I bought this house for 235,000 euros, and I paid another 15,000 euros for the other cost, which are, so guys, to explain these numbers, I am just taking this as a random example. I just was searching for an example and this popped up first on the list, so just taking this as an example. Okay, so the example which I'm taking here is a house which cost up to 449,000 euros, and the Nebenkosten, which you see right here, is 11%, which are called the side cost in English. So if I break down this Nebenkosten further, I will always get 4 costs. So the first is the Makler Provision, which means the broker fees, which here is 5.95%, but this has a range from 3.5% to, it can go as high as 6 or 7% as well, depending upon the state you are living in. So I think this example is from Hessen, and the basic fee for a makler or a broker in Hessen is around 6%. In Bayern, it depends, it can also be up to 3.5%. So then comes the next cost, which is the Grundgewerbesteuer, which means property transfer tax, and this is in this case 3.5%, but this can also go as high as up to 6.5% depending upon the state you are living in. So the next cost is the Notarkosten, that means the notary fees, and this is around 1.5%, but this can be also as low as 1.2%. And the notary is the person who is legally reading the whole buying contract to make sure that the contract is safe from the buyer's point of view and from the seller's point of view, and he will read everything in the contract, and you should definitely understand. In case you don't understand German, then you can hire a translator, or you can bring your friend who speaks German. So the fourth cost is the Grundbucheintrag. That means your name has to be registered on the property papers, and this is what it actually means. And the notary is actually doing this part as well. So that costs around 0.5%. So in total, it would be around 51,410 euros in this case. And like I said, you can save a lot of money in case you are not going through a broker. And guys, just to let you know and just to clarify this point again, that this is just the side cost. That means this money you are giving away to the government and to the broker. So this money you should not include in your buying price, okay? This is just extra money which you are, let's say, giving away. So just forget about it. And some banks would ask you more than these side costs. So as you can see right here, the Eigenkapital, that means the down payment which will actually cover the cost of the house. So this is around 89,000 euros in this case, but usually banks don't ask for this until and unless your Bonität is really bad. So Bonität is actually a German term. It has nothing to do with Schufa, just to clarify this. This means that your credit taking capabilities are really good, and this has many factors, like if you have a disability insurance, how much is your salary, how many people are buying together. So this always increases the Bonität, and if your Bonität is really good, then you might get a full 100% credit. In many cases, or in some cases, if your Bonität is really good, then you can actually also get a credit of more than 100%. That means the bank can finance this extra cost as well. But just to remind you guys that in that case, this extra cost might be at a really high interest. It can go up to 7% as well. So I would always recommend that you should be covering this side cost by yourself. So otherwise you would have to pay a lot of money. You would be paying around 3,500 euros approximately, just considering 7% interest rate on this 51,410 euros side cost. And if it goes for 4 or 5 years, usually it will be up to 5 years, then you would be paying around approximately 35,000 euros. And guys, that's, I would say, a deal gone in loss. So please take care of this. So calculate your numbers, plan your estimates, and then go in for the deal.
So guys, like you saw that how I save money by putting my money on high interest schemes. And we being Indians, we have this opportunity and we have this benefit of being in a developing country and being an NRI. We can use these high interest schemes. And I guess many of you already know this, but I just wanted to bring it to you guys. And for those viewers who are not Indians, I still have a good news for you. I will bring all the stocks and we will do this together. I will invest in stocks in front of you which has a good reputation of giving dividends year over year. So with this and with an annual return of minimum 6%. So we will make this together, and this is what this series is all about. So we will do this together. So don't be disappointed if you're not an Indian. I will show you many other ways how you can save up money and how you can build up your wealth. And with this, we wrap up our video today. So I hope you really like this video, and this content, what I'm going to bring to you guys, will help you to achieve that financial freedom level 1 at least. And this is my aim, guys. This is my motive to be here on YouTube to help you guys out. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop a comment below with any question you want to ask, and I will personally answer them. And to get more juicy updates, you can follow me on Instagram. I have a Facebook page, which I will also put in the description below. So with that being said, see you in the next one, guys. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and ciao.